further attempt to sail toward Gaza places your safety at risk.
This is new video from the activist group Global Sumud Flotilla. It says Israeli forces intercepted dozens of their aid ships bound for Gaza in international waters near Greece overnight. Reuters has not verified the exact location or time of the video. Now, we've seen attempts to deliver aid and interceptions like this before. Let's turn to our Tom Perry, who is in Jerusalem. Tom, what happened this time?
Well, this time, Global Sumud, they set sail from Spain earlier this month. More than 50 boats in this flotilla trying to break the embargo, the blockade of Gaza, trying to get aid to the people of Gaza. And now we're seeing these images of the Israeli Navy, as it has before, intercepting this flotilla. The group says that this happened off the Greek island of Crete. Now, they're saying that's about 1,000 kilometers away from Israel. They're calling this piracy. They're calling this unlawful seizure of human beings. And as I mentioned, this has happened before. The same group tried to do a flotilla back in October of last year. Greta Thunberg, the environmental activist, was part of that. And what we saw in that case was, again, the Israeli Navy blocking the boats, taking the activists off those boats, bringing them back to Israel, where they were put into detention centers, into jails, and then they were deported from Israel. Now, we did hear reports from some of the people, including Greta Thunberg, of mistreatment in Israeli detention, saying that they were denied access to their lawyers, saying that they were mistreated by their Israeli captors. Eventually, they were deported, so that will likely happen again this time around. The Israeli government calls this whole thing a PR stunt. It says that this is inspired by Hamas. It said in the last instance when these activists were detained and they then complained about the conditions they were being held in, they called that fake news. And so we did see the Israeli Foreign Affairs Ministry posting images today of what it says are more than 175 activists that it's taken from this flotilla, and that's off more than 20 ships.
What do we know about how much aid is actually making it into Gaza through what Israel would consider legitimate channels?
Well, we did hear from the Israeli government today, and what they've been saying is that 600 trucks are getting into Gaza per day. We've been seeing these images of trucks going into Gaza, carrying material into Gaza. Now, I was reading a piece by a group called Refugees International. They're a humanitarian group, and they say that there may be hundreds of trucks going into Gaza every day, but the bulk of what's going in, according to Refugees International, is commercial goods. And we're seeing commercial goods for sale in the marketplaces in Gaza. But the point that this group is making, at least, is that just because commercial goods are getting in, a lot of people can't afford what's in the market. And what needs to get in is actual aid. So, it still is very difficult to get a clear picture of what's going on inside Gaza, because as well as blocking activists like this flotilla from getting into the territory, the Israeli government is, for the most part, blocking international journalists from getting into Gaza to find out what's going on there.
Tom Perry in Jerusalem, thanks very much.